Have you ever wondered which states in America are the poorest and why? Today, we're going to explore the 12 poorest states in the United States as of 2024. We'll look at why these states struggle and what makes life hard for people living there. Get ready to learn some surprising facts about money problems in different parts of our country. 1. Tennessee. Tennessee is a state with pretty mountains and famous country music. But did you know it's also one of the poorest states in America? Let's find out why. In Tennessee, people have to pay a lot of money when they buy things. This is because the state has high sales taxes, but they don't have to pay much income tax. This might sound good, but it makes things harder for people who don't have much money. Many people in Tennessee don't have enough food to eat. About 13 out of every 100 people in the state often go hungry. Even worse, 20 out of every 100 kids in Tennessee are poor. That means 1 in every 5 children might not have enough money for food, clothes, or a good place to live. 2. South Carolina. South Carolina is known for its beautiful beaches and friendly people, but it's also one of the poorest states in the country. Let's see why that is. In South Carolina, the average family makes about $59,318 a year. This might sound like a lot, but it's less than what families make in most other states. When people don't have much money, it can lead to other problems. People might not live as long, and there might be more crime. South Carolina also has trouble with things like voting and healthcare. These problems can make it hard for people to have their voices heard or get the medical help they need. Another big issue is that there aren't enough workers in South Carolina. This is partly because people are moving away to find better jobs. The jobs that are left often don't pay very well. Many people work in factories, on farms, or in places that tourists visit. But these jobs can be risky because they depend on how well the economy is doing. 3. Oklahoma. Oklahoma is a state with wide open spaces and lots of oil, but it's also one of the poorest states in America. Let's explore why. In Oklahoma, the average family makes about $55,826 a year. That's less than the average American family, which makes about $69,717. There are a few reasons why Oklahoma struggles with money. First, the roads, bridges, and buildings in Oklahoma need a lot of work. When these things are in bad shape, it's hard for businesses to work well. Imagine trying to deliver packages on bumpy, broken roads. Oklahoma also depends a lot on making money from oil and gas. This can be a problem because the price of oil changes a lot. When oil prices go down, many people in Oklahoma can lose their jobs. 4. Kentucky. Kentucky is famous for horse races and fried chicken, but it's also one of the poorest states in the country. Let's find out why. For a long time, Kentucky made a lot of money from coal mining and making things in factories. But now, these jobs are going away. People are using less coal because it's bad for the environment. This means many people who used to work in coal mines have lost their jobs. Kentucky also has many small farms, but these farms are having a hard time. The weather is changing, which makes it harder to grow crops. Also, big farms are taking over because they can produce food more cheaply. This means many small farmers are struggling to make money. Schools in Kentucky also need to get better. When people don't get a good education, it's harder for them to find jobs that pay well. All these problems mean that the average family in Kentucky only makes about $55,573 a year. That's not much money to live on, especially for families with kids. 5. New Mexico. New Mexico is a state with beautiful deserts and a rich history, but it's also one of the poorest states in America. Let's see why that is. In New Mexico, many people work for the government or in schools. About 24 out of every 100 jobs are in these areas. While these can be good jobs, it means there aren't as many other types of jobs available. Education is a big problem in New Mexico. Many adults didn't finish high school. This makes it hard for them to get good jobs. Even worse, only about 71 out of every 100 people in New Mexico can read well. That's one of the lowest rates in the country. Because of these problems, many people in New Mexico don't have homes or enough food to eat. It's sad to think that in such a beautiful state, many people are struggling to meet their basic needs. 6. Alabama. Alabama is known for its love of football and tasty Southern food. But it's also one of the poorest states in the U.S. Let's explore why. Alabama's money problems go way back in history. Long ago, many people in Alabama worked on cotton farms. Sadly, many of these workers were enslaved African Americans. Even today, African Americans in Alabama are more likely to be poor than other groups. Now, the average family in Alabama makes about $53,913 a year. This is much less than in most other states. One reason for this is that Alabama doesn't have many different types of jobs. Many people work in farming, making things in factories, or with natural resources like coal or timber. But these jobs often don't pay very well, and there aren't as many of them as there used to be. 7. Arkansas. Arkansas is called the natural state because of its beautiful outdoors, but it's also one of the poorest states in America. Let's find out why. In Arkansas, the average family only makes about $52,528 a year. There are a few reasons why people in Arkansas don't make much money. First, most people in Arkansas live in the countryside. Many work on farms, in forests, or making guns. These jobs often don't pay very well. Schools in Arkansas also need to do better. When kids don't get a good education, it's harder for them to find good jobs when they grow up. All these problems mean that many people in Arkansas are poor. This makes things even harder because the state has less money to fix schools and roads. It's like a big puzzle where all the pieces are connected. 8. Louisiana. Louisiana is famous for its delicious food and fun Mardi Gras parties, but it's also one of the poorest states in the country. Let's see why that is. In Louisiana, many people work in jobs related to oil and gas. This can be a problem because the price of oil changes a lot. When oil prices go down, many people can lose their jobs. Louisiana also has a big gap between rich and poor people. This means some people have a lot of money, while many others have very little. This can make it hard for poor people to get a good education or health care. Schools in Louisiana also need to do better. When people don't get a good education, it's harder for them to find good jobs. All these issues mean that many families in Louisiana struggle to have enough money for their needs. 9. West Virginia. West Virginia is known for its beautiful mountains and country roads, but it's also one of the poorest states in America. Let's explore why. For a long time, West Virginia made a lot of money from coal mining. But now, fewer people are using coal because it's bad for the environment. This means many coal miners have lost their jobs. West Virginia has been slow to bring in new types of jobs, like making renewable energy or high-tech products. This makes it hard for people to find good jobs when the coal mines close. Another problem is that West Virginia is very mountainous. This makes it hard to build good roads and internet connections. Without these things, it's tough to attract new businesses to the state. 10. Arkansas. We talked about Arkansas earlier, but it's worth looking at again because it faces so many challenges. Arkansas is a state with beautiful nature and friendly people, but it's also one of the poorest states in the country. In Arkansas, many people work in farming, forests, or making things in factories. These jobs often don't pay very well. This means many families struggle to make enough money to live comfortably. Education is a big challenge in Arkansas. Many schools need more money and better resources. This makes it hard for kids to get the education they need to find good jobs when they grow up. Arkansas also has trouble attracting new businesses that could create better-paying jobs. This is partly because the state needs to improve its roads, bridges, and internet connections. 11. Mississippi. Mississippi is known for its music, especially the blues and its mighty river. But it's also the second poorest state in America. Let's find out why. In Mississippi, the average family only makes about $48,716 a year. That's much less than in most other states. There are several reasons for this. First, many schools in Mississippi need more money and better resources. This makes it hard for kids to get a good education. When people don't have a good education, it's tough to find jobs that pay well. Mississippi also has a lot of poverty. This means many people don't have enough money for basic needs like food and housing. 12. Idaho. Idaho is famous for its potatoes and beautiful wilderness, but it's also one of the poorest states in America. Let's explore why. In Idaho, many people work in farming and natural resource industries like mining and logging. While these jobs are important, they often don't pay very well. This means many families struggle to make enough money to live comfortably. Education is a big challenge in Idaho, especially in rural areas. Many schools need more money and better resources. This makes it hard for kids to get the education they need to find good jobs when they grow up. Idaho also has trouble attracting and keeping high-paying jobs. Many young people move away to find better opportunities in other states. This leaves Idaho with fewer workers and less money coming into the state. Now that we've explored the 12 poorest states in America, we can see that poverty is a complex problem. It's not just about money, but also about education, jobs, and even geography. These states face big challenges, but they're also full of hardworking people trying to make things better. Remember, every state has its strengths and weaknesses. Even the poorest states have things that make them special, like beautiful nature, rich culture, or friendly people. By understanding these problems, we can all work together to help make life better for everyone in America. If you found this video interesting, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us create more videos like this one. Also, leave a comment below telling us what you learned or what surprised you most about these states. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.